Hi, I'm Lindsay Broyhill with the Ascend Policy Program at the Aspen Institute.
And I'm Julie Sweetland with the Frameworks Institute.
And at Ascend, we're all about ensuring families have the opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential. And we take a two-generation approach to our work, which means that we are intentionally and simultaneously focusing on the children and the adults in their lives to ensure that the whole family is able to build well-being. And that's why we're so excited to partner with the Frameworks Institute to develop a playbook and a messaging guide on how to frame two-generation approaches to supporting families. So, Julie, what is framing and why is it so important in our work?
So, framing is just the process of making choices about what to say, how to say it, and what to leave unsaid. We're all framing all the time. There's no such thing as an unframed communication. But when it comes to social issues, it's really important that you think carefully, intentionally, and use evidence about how to position an issue.
What kind of frames should we be using in this work?
As we were working with and listening to folks in the two-generation field, we heard that it was difficult to communicate some aspects of the two-generation work. So people that were really understanding how grounded in equity this work is, wanted ways to reflect families as partners and treat them as equals, not get stuck in the outdated language. And folks that are really thinking about how this changes our systems felt that either people weren't really getting the issue, maybe their eyes were glazing over, or it just sounded too big to handle. So what we did was to try to think carefully about what the two-gen field is trying to get across and why that might be hard to talk about. And some of the reframing that we recommend is to move away from talking about two-generation work as a way to break the cycle of poverty and to move more towards the idea that we're opening up and fostering human potential. Move away from talking about just improving or tinkering with programs and services, but rather talk about how this work really builds broader well-being. And instead of talking about helping the whole family, to really focus on the idea that public sector or systems have realized we need families in this work as partners.
So what kind of frames or words should we not use? What should we avoid?
So, I think some of those frames I just mentioned about breaking the cycle of poverty or helping families are the bigger frames in terms of the words that kind of do that work and bring those ideas to mind. I mean, even just the word help or serve, it's important to be careful about those words. Describing families as vulnerable or needy, I think has some, it brings with it this idea that somehow they're broken and the work is to fix them or to give to them. Where really I think the two-generation work is really about building on the assets and pulling families' assets into the work.
That sounds great. So you can learn more about this in the playbook and messaging guide on Ascend's website, ascend.aspeninstitute.org, and on the Frameworks website as well. Thank you.
Thanks.